We all talk about learning things, but we don't really talk about unlearning things, right? Like, we all think learning is important, but we have never thought about unlearning things. But I think unlearning is just as important because sometimes it's not what you know that's holding you back, it's something that you think you know. Like, we all grew up believing certain things, agreeing with some things, disagreeing with the others, and we had some set of facts or some set of things or some set of views that we agree upon. We have different views, right? And sometimes we don't question it also. And also at times our views start changing because of our experience or something new that you learned about. See, sometimes it's hard to accept the fact that what we thought was true is not something that we agree with anymore. And so we start making reasons to prove it right. I think that's where the problem lies. Like, we don't feel comfortable thinking that what we thought was true all the way is something that's not really valid or is something that's not really true. Because what if some things that you thought were true aren't true anymore or were never true in the first place, right? I feel like as you grow, you have to keep learning and unlearning things. That's how you modify your views, that's how you grow. Like, not everything that we thought and we think are true. It's a learning process. Life is all about learning. So you get new views, you get new learnings, and you got to be able to unlearn things that you think is not needed anymore. So that's what today's episode is about. Today is about unlearning things, being able to quickly unlearn things. We live in a very fast-paced world. There's a lot going on around us. I think it's very important to have the skill of unlearning things quickly. Quickly, you got to unlearn things and relearn. I think that's a skill in all aspects, not just, your old past view on life. In everything it applies. Our ego does get hurt at times, and so we resist that feeling. We hold on to what we have been believing. I think it's very important to unlearn things because that's how we grow, right? We learn, unlearn, we learn again, we unlearn. That's how we grow. If you only let yourself learn things and not unlearn them, then I don't think so real growth will happen, right? And I think it's okay to, unlearn things. It's okay to, disagree with something that you believed before. That's totally fine because the world is evolving in a much faster pace. Different things are happening everywhere. There's a lot going on. So if you're not able to unlearn things and relearn, then I think it's going to be hard. Now let's dive into the video. Now, what is this unlearning? Unlearning is not about letting go of everything that you believed or, chucking something completely out because you don't agree with it. It's not like that. It's not forgetting things that you believed in. I think it's about questioning your beliefs, like questioning things that you believed in. Like your point of views about certain things. It can change. Your point of views can change along the way. From different experiences, from different learnings that you get, your point of views can change. And sometimes, like even in me as well, I have, unconsciously tried resisting myself to not agree with something that I agreed now. Like that thing might not be something that I agreed with before, but now that it made sense to me, I didn't let myself, agree. I don't know, when I think about the fact that this is something that I disagreed with and now I agree with it is something uncomfortable. It doesn't feel right. Like that thought that you have been wrong all these time, that was not a good feeling, right? Like we sometimes come up with reasons to prove that we're right. I recently realized that I used to be scared of changing my view of, if there's something that I agree with, I used to be scared that maybe in the future, what if I disagree with this and not do it accordingly? Like whatever it may be. Maybe imagine there's something that you want to achieve so bad, okay? And along the way, you realize that this is not something that you truly want. And now you're scared of changing that path. Okay, career path. Okay, that's a great example, I feel. Now, maybe you had this childhood ambition. Okay, and you're taking it to the next level. But along the way, you realize that this is not something I truly enjoy. Like you genuinely realized, okay? And now you're scared of changing the path because you think that it was my childhood ambition. Why would I not like it? Why am I not sticking with it? That's when you gotta sit with yourself and question yourself. Like, okay, you shouldn't get out of that just because it feels hard or you feel like it's impossible. But if it's something that you don't truly enjoy, then you should feel free to, unlearn things and then replace it with something that you truly like. You shouldn't stick with it just because it was something that you wanted a few days ago, or it's something that you wanted for long. Now, when you think about it, where do you think these beliefs or the point of views that you have about certain things came from? Now, mostly it's from experiences. It's almost from experiences, obviously, and people around us, society, the things that we have been hearing from so long, right? Those things, sometimes there are a lot of things that we haven't questioned about yet, and we still believe it because it is what it is, or because that's what we heard from the majority. I think it's important to question yourself, like question and be aware of your actions, or be aware of why you choose certain things over the others. Now, it's not like you got to sit and think about things that you agree with and disagree with. That's not what I'm trying to say. I feel like, see, we make thousands of decisions every day, and there is a reason why if there are two options, one and two, there's a reason that you choose one over the two, right? Now, you should be able to question why you think a certain way and why you disagree with something else. You should be able to question yourself and be open minded. Like, you shouldn't, resist yourself from ideas, right? Like, you should keep an open mind, be open to ideas. If it makes sense to you, then you take it in and remove something that you used to believe. And yeah, experiences plays a very huge role in why we do and think a certain way, right? But even then, as we grow, we can be open to new perspectives. So, unlearning and being able to, remove a thought that you don't agree with anymore and replace it with something that you agree with is important, right? Like, it should make sense to you. You shouldn't settle for less, or change your perspective because the others around you has that perspective. That's not the goal, right? You got to be able to think through it and be able to fully agree with it before you remove something. See, I used to be a person who thinks that everyone should agree with me, everyone should like me, I should be nice to everyone, I should be able to do things that would make them happy, right? I used to think that. That's when you become a proper good person. But later on, from experiences, I have learned that that's not how life works. There will always be someone or the other to hate on you, to make comments, to discourage you, and that is normal. Like, you shouldn't be standing there to please people. That's not your goal. So, people pleasing, right? I used to think that is a sign of a good person. If everyone's happy with you, then that's a sign of good person. Not everyone will like you all the time. There will be opinions, differences in opinions, because everyone's different, yeah. So you shouldn't try so hard to please them. That's what I realized along the way. Now, that's something that I had to unlearn. I had to be okay when people don't like me, when there are some people who don't maybe disagree, who disagrees with me. Now, if you come across something and in the back of your head you feel like there's something that's wrong, this doesn't feel right, like something feels off in your point of view, but you try giving yourself thousands of reasons to prove yourself right, that's when you should be able to pause, reflect, and unlearn if needed. And be honest with yourself. Be honest with what you think about a particular situation or a particular thing. Because be honest with yourself, right? Be honest with your thoughts. Because if you're not honest with yourself, so yeah, start noticing your thoughts, yeah. And if you find yourself making reasons to prove yourself right, then you gotta pause and reflect. But at the same time, be conscious of what you're choosing, right? Don't blindly accept something, right? Don't just be like, it is what it is, I can't do anything about this, it is how it should be. Take a moment to actually think about it. And if it's something that you agree with, take it in. If it's something that you disagree with, let it go. Because at the end of the day, I think these beliefs are the ones that shape you, your actions and everything, right? So choose them wisely. Because growth is not just about what you learn. It's also about what you unlearn, how fast you can unlearn things. Because world is very fast paced. There are a lot of things going on. You're making thousands of decisions every day. If you're not able to unlearn things, then that is also going to affect your growth. Yeah, just a small thought to think about. Unlearn things. How faster you can unlearn things, the better. Same like learning, that's also a skill that should be, practiced. So yeah, that's it for today's episode. I hope this gave you something to think about. If it did, I'm super glad. Till the next one, take care and bye-bye.